The DUI trial for Peoria Heights Mayor Matt Wigginton is now underway, and prosecutors say he was found slumped over the steering wheel of a parked car at the Pear Marquette Hotel back in April. Today, witnesses testified that he smelled of alcohol, had slurred speech, and showed signs of an altered mental state. An officer also testified a key fob was found in his coat pocket. Now, the defense argues the vehicle was not running. Wigginton never tried to start it, and there's no evidence he intended to drive. We learned that Wigginton does not plan to take the witness stand, and the jury now has this case.